All right, folks, welcome back. Just a quick little ditty here on Thursday's NASDAQ trading. Take a look at the daily chart here. As I mentioned last night, I wasn't sure if we were going to drop down into this gap in here, but we did dip its toe in the water just below the previous day's low. I did say that we would be reaching for this high here, and then eventually we'd be reaching for these relative equal highs. We were able to do that today, trade up above that. And we're going to look inside this volume imbalance for any details as well. Here's that volume imbalance, and here's an hourly chart. Here's some relative equal highs. You can see how we rallied up into that today pretty aggressively. And zoomed in, you can see that this is that 60-minute fair value gap I mentioned on social media today, and trading up into it, and then above it treats it as a inversion fair value gap right there, and then sends it to minor buy side, and then the buy side. Yes, you're gonna hear my puppies in the background, and no, I'm not editing it out. Turned over a new leaf, baby. And then we have the 15-minute time frame, the inversion fair value gap here. It's at pre-market session hours. It's before 9:30, and then it rallies up, takes out the high I mentioned last night. Just straight up, just this market's nuts. if I tried to fight it, as a 20-year-old like I used to, I'd be completely destroyed. Okay, and you're probably going to have the same outcome if you just go in there recklessly trying to force a bias or force a perspective. All right, and here is the smaller 1 minute time frame. This is the pre-market session. I did a 15-second order block long here, and I showed that on the Telegram channel, reaching for this buy side here. And then we traded up into this rally above that 60-minute or 1 hour fair value gap. I was entering in close proximity to just above the midpoint of it, or consequent encroachment. I had a little bit of heat on that, but it's okay because the money that was collected from this trade here funds the open position drawdown in here. So it's kind of like I guarantee myself, $300, $400, and then let's see how far we can milk this thing going the other direction, and aiming for this little gap in here. There's my close right there. And I shared that on Twitter because a young man asked me, is that all there is for today? I had something I had to take care of today, so I wasn't able to trade. And honestly, the opening, really, here it is. It, to me, really wasn't worth doing anything with, because if you weren't already long, basically, if you haven't entered the market long before the opening bell, you really didn't get a chance to do anything. This is a 928 candle. So it came down, consequent encroachment, basically, of that daily volume imbalance, and it just kept on sending it higher. So I'm glad I actually missed this morning, because I would have been a little frustrated, being in front of you once more and just not seeing the things I'd be looking for to take a trade. So it is what it is. That was one of the reasons why I spent time with you before the opening bell. And that's it. That's all I got for today. And we'll see if it continues to go higher for those relative equal highs on the daily chart.